Up to this point, we've talked about different cultural dimensions, as well as cultural demographics that add diversity to our world. Now let's focus on what makes us a competent communicator when we communicate in a culturally diverse way. First, consider making the message accessible. This may mean adding closed caption to films that you show, or making sure you speak really loudly or have a microphone for those who are hard of hearing. Maybe when you have a visual aid, you make sure that you don't have red and green on top of each other. That way, red and green colorblind people don't miss out on the message. Maybe you have really clear structure for those who need really strong transitions to help follow the information. Maybe you have visual aids there that help people who learn best through visuals. Another way which you can be competent is to focus on similarities. Now yes, diversity is beautiful, and the ways that we are different just makes this world even more unique. But it's always great to focus on our similarities as well. No one probably wants to be singled out and be segregated from the rest of the group of saying, oh, well, I need to make sure I accommodate this one person and do all this extra stuff for them. That may not necessarily be true. If you make your message accessible in the first place to everyone, then you probably shouldn't have to worry about making your message fit just one person and make them feel awkward for having to get extra attention. Additionally, when you think about focusing on similarities, think about the fact that most humans go through similar experiences. At some point, we experience happiness. At some point, we experience sadness. At some point, we get angry. If you ask yourself, well, if I were in that situation, how would I feel? It may make you think, we are probably going to be more similar than we are different. Avoid its language. Now, there's lots and lots of discriminatory terms out there that can demean, ignore, inappropriately call attention to, or even disrespect members of a particular group. That includes ageist language, racist, sexist, even heterosexist language. The list goes on and on. Be aware that as a competent communicator, you want to avoid any discriminatory language. No one wants to be discriminated against. No one wants to be disrespected, especially for something that makes them unique. It makes them their own person, a part of their identity. So again, remember to focus on those commonalities, those similarities. Now, if you are in a situation where someone is different and you have the opportunity to listen to them, listen to the other. You can see here I've highlighted the word other. Not all of our experiences are going to be the same. And because of that, we have a rich opportunity to learn from other people. Don't assume that you know exactly what someone's going through because you've heard one person say this about a group. Or maybe you have a stereotype about that group. If you sit down and you really stop and think, you may learn something. Back when I was in the 7th, 8th grade and junior high, I would notice a lot of girls going out to tan, and they would come back with sunburn. Now, I have dark skin, so I had never experienced a sunburn. I just saw their skin peeling, and I saw it getting red, and they would say, oh, my skin hurts. Well, for me, I thought they were just complaining about something that was such a small problem. Oh, their skin looks red. I could tell that. Their skin is peeling, and that's not attractive. But their skin hurts? Really? Please. It wasn't until a few years later when another friend of mine had gone tanning, and I touched her shoulder, and she cringed in pain, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand. But I could tell that I hurt her in some way. She explained to me that sunburns hurt. They actually damage a layer of your skin. She realized that because I had never experienced one, there was no way I could honestly feel her pain. But because I was willing to listen to the other, to get an experience from someone who had an experience really unique from what I experienced, I could be a competent communicator. I didn't have to constantly say, oh, they're faking how much pain they're going through. No, I could understand. I could be empathic. Competent communicators are also willing to be the voice of dissent. There are times where that person in a minority group may not even be in the room, but you can be the voice of dissent. You can say, well, are all people of that group like that? Or just one person that you met that one time? Standing up for a group of people who you don't even belong to shows your communication competence. Again, it shows how you're willing to emphasize similarities as opposed to differences. And it ties into that next concept, creating a safe space. I was talking to a group of students over the summer, and we talked about different ways we can be ethical when it comes to communicating. And one of the things that they came up with, which I just thought was amazing, was creating a safe space for someone, even when they weren't in the room. That if you have someone who could potentially be offended by what someone else said, that you address it in that space before they even enter. In that way, you've created a safe space that no matter who comes into the room, everyone's going to be appreciated and welcome. So again, when it comes to communication, culture, and diversity, I hope you understand how rich this really is, about the different cultural dimensions, the different cultural demographics, and how we can be interculturally competent communicators. The world as we know it may be getting more and more and more diverse. Again, our classrooms, the workplace, social media, even our families. But by showing a little bit of sensitivity and a little bit of respect, we're ready to communicate with them.